brand new day with Mo and News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it, my dear friends. From politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled. From morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. It is the 22nd of January, which means, well, we made it past the 21st, y'all. That's pretty much what it means today. Welcome, Christine and Wolfram and all of my mods who do a wonderful, lovely job for me, including Jedi Jess. Thank you so much. Super T, good morning. And Dark Alile, welcome. John Nader, Spirit Matter, Tammy, welcome, everybody. So our first story, the South is dealing with a snowstorm slash ice storm slash, oh my God, there is snow in the South. Unfortunately and sadly, at least 9 have been reported dead in a brutal cold as historic snows fall in a once-in-a-generation storm in the South. Welcome, Maggie in Florida and Penny Williams. Way to go for, again, not having anything that goes with this particular story as the lead picture on it. Way to go, Yahoo. At least 9 people are believed to have died as a result of the dangerous cold gripping much of the country, as a once-in-a-generation winter storm wreaks havoc on the Gulf Coast, a region wholly unaccustomed to winter weather. Yeah, there was a blizzard warning in the Gulf Coast. I mean, that's how crazy this is. Has Lafayette even ever seen snow? I don't even know what they're going to think. They're probably going to think, cartels lost a shipment. Just kidding. Just kidding. While the cold has proved deadly, footage from across the Gulf Coast shows snow blanking in plausible places, causing surreal wintry scenes in New Orleans, the French Quarter, where street performers sang for passersby, on a grass, at the Florida border, and on the white beaches of Orange Beach, Alabama. Okay, one question though. Okay, so to the swingers in the village, does this mean you make Dole pineapple whips instead of, just hanging a pineapple upside down? Like, is there a seasonal protocol for orgies? Asking for a friend. I've never seen anything like this. Brienne Mathern wrote on X where he showed, oh, that's a dude? Brennan, sorry, Brennan, not BN. Brennan. Where he showed footage of snow falling in Cutoff, Louisiana. I probably will never see it again. Here's what's happening now. So 2 deaths in Austin are being investigated as suspected cold-related deaths, according to Austin Travis County Medical Emergency Services. Though the medical examiner's office has not made a final determination of what caused the death, Georgia officials are reporting 1 death from hypothermia at a news conference on Tuesday, saying that the individual was outside the night prior. Another death is also believed to have been caused by hypothermia, involving an 80-year-old man in Milwaukee who fell outdoors early Sunday, according to the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner. At least 5 people have passed away in an accident caused by icy road conditions early Thursday in Zalvia County, Texas. So snow is falling from southeast Texas through Louisiana into parts of Mississippi and Alabama on Tuesday. So yesterday, Alabama to Houston recorded a widespread snowfall of about 3 to 6 inches, with at least 1 locality reaching the double-digit mark. 8 inches of snowfall was recorded at the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport on Tuesday. They don't even have salt. They don't even have salt out. Do y'all even have salt in the South? Or do you put sand down? Do you guys even have snowplows? Holy cow. I am genuinely confused as to how the South deals with snowstorms because I wouldn't imagine you'd have many snow trucks or salt. I mean, it's such a ubiquitous part of life in the Midwest that I'm genuinely concerned that they're gonna be stuck in the snow for about a week and a half because they don't have any shovels. I hope everyone prepped and stocked up, and, my heart goes out to people that this economy is super tough, that have had to, choose between heating, their home and gas to go to their car. So hopefully the South is prepared and there will be, resources to people that need to get warm, need to have a place to go in. It breaks my heart that people died of cold, but be careful if you are in the South. If you don't have to go anywhere, please stay home. Leave those roads, as terrible as they are to first responders trying to get to people. Stay warm. Um, it's a Midwest thing, so if it's real cold, turn on your faucet just a scotch. That'll keep your pipes from freezing. I don't have any more wisdom. I will ask Mr. Moe. He does most of the houseology here. I just kinda make sure it doesn't look like a scene from Hoarders and, it's sprayed with Lysol, hopefully, once in a while. Now, don't confess on Facebook unless you wanna wrap everything up for the police, but one man in North Carolina unalived his wife over alleged cheating before a chilling Facebook confession in a, well, deletion, self-deletion sort of thing. Also, yes, Jedi Jess is completely right. If you do have to get into your car, pack extra clothes, blankets, water. If you get stuck, you know, I know it's a pain in the absolute behind, but, you know, try to think of those things if you do have to go out. I told my daughters to pack a bunch of blankets in the car, and they're like, "What, are we having to live in our car now?" And I was like, "No, children of the corn. You have the blanket in there in case you get stuck on the side of the road where it's cold and your car won't go." And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense. We didn't understand." I was like, "No, I'm not kicking you out to live in your car. Duh." Like, no, that's not how this is working. I just want you to be safe if you get stuck in the frozen. A North Carolina husband unalived his wife and confessed to the unaliving in a chilling Facebook post before, well, self-deleting. George Lesnack fatally shot his wife, Kathleen Lesnack, 59, in their North Carolina home just after 6 p.m. on January 18th, according to the Fuquay-Varna Police Department. Now, George, 63, was a former vice president at New York-based Autel Automotive Intelligence, AUSA, and was discovered in the home by police after sustaining a self-inflicted injury. So this is the unhappy couple, I guess. Just get a divorce. I don't get this. Like, you'll both be alive. Sure, she might have been an alleged cheating hoe bag, but you're still going to be alive. You have life after this. I don't get this. This I don't get. Now, the scene unfolded at the couple's 5-bedroom, 4-bath home in Fuquay-Varna, North Carolina, 18 miles southwest of Raleigh. After the shooting, George claimed in a Facebook post that he had unalived his wife because of an alleged affair, according to the NC Beat. "My wife admitted to cheating on me, so I unalived her and I'm about to unalive myself." His quote has been audited to assess YouTube's rules. Are you kidding? Is this guy from oh, no, that's Arca, not ADAS. Okay, never mind. I was like, "Is this Canon guy's boss? Holy crap." But no, it's not. George was an administrator for the group, aimed at technicians who perform ADSA or ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance System calibration on vehicles. In a now deleted post, George told members to figure out the future of Facebook groups themselves. You have to be a real interesting person to be writing your, confession letter, and you're also like, "Dear D&D group, I will not be able to be the dungeon master anymore. Figure it out yourself. Again, to write it on your group support for advanced auto systems and then tell them to go screw themselves. He was full Michael Douglas and falling down, apparently. Now, the couple had been married for over 34 years. George's message was posted at 6 p.m., 3 minutes before the police were called to the home at the 800 block of Highwater Place. Police said that there was no threat to the public, though they were conducting a thorough investigation because of the complex nature of the incident. This incident is deeply tragic, and we urge the community to keep the family members in their thoughts during this challenging time, officials added. Officials have yet to confirm the deaths were a result of a self deletion. Now, Kathleen had worked at Advanced Auto Parts as a technical production manager, her now private Facebook page read, according to News and Observer. Her husband, an Illinois native, graduated from Lincoln Technical Institute and had most recently served as the vice president of training at Attel Automotive Intelligence. He worked remotely with the Long Island company for 5.5 years before leaving in September 2024, according to his LinkedIn page. Now, Attel Automotive reacted to the suspected incident in a short Facebook post that said, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic events that occurred at the Lesnack residence on January 18th. We at the Attel, Automotive express our heartfelt condolences to family and friends." Yeah, there's just not a corporate message you can put out there that's going to sound anything but generic or, well, just what you have to do for being polite. I mean, have you thought about it? Because we will go and ask people that we honest to God know are struggling balls, like hard time, like on the struggle bus with an express pass. And we'll be like, "How you doing, sweetheart?" Because that's what the polite thing is to say. You're supposed to ask how people are doing. But they're not doing well, they are full hot Metis Express just trying to hold it together. So, in Mo's world, you won't have to ask that question. You'll just be able to tell people, th "This just sucks, and I'm here for you," instead of asking the stupid, polite question that, the answer is always gonna be a lie, which is okay. Oh, absolutely. No, go ahead and do that. My endeavor, you guys, is to be much more interactive. So I am starting now. Uh, I kind of thought about this. I know this is shocking, but I've decided to kind of do some just free flowing kind of story time slash what I was thinking about last night. Uh, videos when I'm pulling stories. So those will be members only for that day. And then the day after, they should be for everyone. So I was trying to find a way that I could honor everyone who's supporting me as a member, but also realize that this economy sucks and not everyone can afford it. So that is how I figured it out in my mama mind. If you are a member, you get my musings early. Now, I will explain to you that maybe I didn't think my musings out too carefully because I told you guys exactly what I thought about this evening, which is as you do at 3 a.m., what fetish would gross out foot people? Yeah, I had a detailed thought. I did a logic tree and I have figured it out. So for members, that video should be available. And then for everyone who's a subscriber and everyone like that, it should be available tomorrow. But that is my goal, and to be more on Discord, among with being hydrated and not cursing and being kind to humanity. Look, I may not be hydrated today, is all I got to say. Welcome, Tammy Bogart. So in all seriousness, please, if you're in a marriage, relationship, situation, dateship sort of thing, and it's not working out, just leave. There are plenty of fishes and furries out in the sea. You can find yourself another person. It's such a waste. Okay, sorry about that. Mr. Mo is working remotely today, so that means I do need to prioritize getting my own internets. I'm putting that on the list. I'm making Mr. Mo call them, though, because I don't like to talk to people. Well, that probably would not be in the manual, if I'm going to be honest with you. How to pull a 1,000-pound moose from a frozen lake. According to rescuers who did it, there's no training manual for getting a moose out of ice. I mean, I would imagine it's not a situation you encounter often, but I would like a manual now for how to get a moose out of a frozen lake. A bull moose that fell through a lake of ice in the Adirondack Mountains was saved by New York conservation officials in a laborious cold water rescue. The moose fell through the ice at 11 a.m. Thursday, about 200 feet or 60 meters from the shore on Lake Abenaki. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. No, you guys still blow, okay? You killed Peanut and Fred. Screw you guys sideways with a cactus. Because I don't care if you saved Murphy the moose, you still took out Fred and Peanut. We do not forget justice. The lake is near the town of Indian Lake, about 60 miles or 40 kilometers south of Lake Placid, where all the alligators are. But Betty White is nice and she feeds them. There's not a training manual for getting moose out of the ice, the environmental conservation police officer, Lieutenant Robert Higgins, said in a video statement recounting the event. Higgins was dispatched to the lake thanks to a passerby who saw the moose break through the ice and called it in. Higgins called for backup and was quickly joined by another pair of forest rangers. In New York, moose are sometimes poached by humans, and a handful die every year from being hit by cars, according to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Now, across the U.S., these giant deer cousins face challenges from human-caused habitat loss and human-caused climate change that has led to warm summers and oppressive tick infections, which has led them to lose fur. For this moose, the humans came to help. Moose can die from hypothermia. Well, I assume every animal that is warm-blooded and even cold-blooded, animals can die of hypothermia. I didn't think it was just like a people thing. I love it how they're like, did you know meese can get hypothermia? And I'm like, I assumed anything that was living could get hypothermia. But okay. Oh, sorry. Yes, Fred and Peanut. It was a fairly big story about January of last year, but the New York Department of Conservation, which is what they call their, wildlife enforcement people or their animal control people, they seized a rescued squirrel and raccoon from a rescue from their owners who had had them for 6 years. And euthanized them because the squirrel got pissed off that they were in his house and he bit them, and they were afraid that they got rabies. And the only way to test for rabies in animals is to do, a vivisection when they're dead, though. So, yeah, just, ugh. Let's see here. Ice rescues can be dangerous because the rescuers can also fall through. We were able to use our ice rescue training to safely get out there, the forest ranger Evan Naor said in a video statement. First, they put on dry suits so they would float and stay warm if they ended up in the water. They used long metal spud bars to test the thickness of the ice, which varied from about 1 to 4 inches or 2.5 to 10 centimeters. They brought safety ropes so if one fell in, the others could pull them out. They navigated a path across the lake, following the thickest path of the ice without, breaking through, and knelt on sleds to distribute their weight. The forest rangers used a chainsaw to cut away sections of the ice, connecting the area where the moose broke through to a thicker section of ice. So Higgins pushed ice blocks underneath the channel to get them out of the way. The hope was for the moose to swim down the channel and climb out. A bull moose can weigh about 1,000 pounds or 455 kilograms, so there wasn't much of a chance of them being able to pull him out. Now, the moose was not a fan. The moose did not swim toward the thick ice, so they tried to herd it down the channel they had cut, but the bull moose was not intimidated by the officials or their big metal sticks. However, it was afraid of their sleds. And to be fair, as an uncoordinated person who always managed to hit that ice bump right at the end, I'm afraid of sleds too. For whatever reason, it was afraid of those, so once we got behind it, we were able to direct it, said Matt Savory, the other forest ranger. The giant moose quickly crawled onto the ice, but was cold. The cold and constant treading water had lasted 2 hours and taken its toll. It was really tired. I was really shivering. I didn't have much energy left, Higgins said. We didn't know if it was going to be able to stand up or not. After 15 minutes, though, it found its footing and got up. It was amazing to see that huge moose stand up right in front of us. Then it walked off into the woods. This is like, thank you, humans. Bye. Okay, I'll approve it. We need to learn our lessons. Some of us are addicted to our phones. We need to have an example made. I'll allow it. And I did not have this on my bingo card. In fact, this might be our weird story of the year, and it's incredibly heartbreaking. But if I was going to expect border shenanigans of any kind, Vermont would not be where I was going to put these particular shenanigans. A German national suspect ID'd in deadly shooting of U.S. Border Patrol agent in Vermont. Vermont. Of all places, Vermont would not have been my pick. And a German national. A German national suspect on a legal visa allegedly unalived a U.S. border agent during a traffic stop in Vermont near the northern border. Fox News Digital has confirmed. Welcome, 80s Music Man. Quote, our partners at the Department of Homeland Security have confirmed the deceased subject is a German national in the U.S. on a current visa, a spokesperson with FBI Albany said. Officials said on Monday, January 20th, 44-year-old U.S. Border Patrol agent David Chris Matland was struck by gunfire during a traffic stop on Interstate 91 between Newport and Orleans, Vermont. In a statement, FBI Albany said that Madalyn was a U.S. Air Force veteran, and we are all heartbroken for our partners and share their grief as they mourn the loss of their colleague. The officials said that 2 suspects were in the car. Officials confirmed that one of the suspects is dead and the other one is injured and currently being treated in an area hospital. The FBI field agents office says that it's continuing to work closely with federal, state, and local officials to further investigate the incident. FBI Albany has numerous resources in the area, including our evidence response team, victim services, digital forensics, and dozens of special agents. On Monday night, authorities were seen using a robotic device to inspect a backpack near what appeared to be a body on the ground at the scene. And he had an awesome rad beard and like a bearded ginger man. Damn you. We need bearded ginger men. Because they're awesome. It's a ginger beard. I don't know why I'm fascinated by them, but I absolutely love them. And we need all them that we can get. The Border Patrol Union shared its condolences, saying on X, our hearts and prayers go out to the family and friends and co-workers of our fallen brother in Greene in Vermont. And you're right, he does have such a jolly face. He looks like just a happy guy. And he gets all red in the face like I do when it's cold. Can I complain for just one doggone second? But being pale as hell means I am red as hell in the summer because I'm always sunburnt. And in the winter, I'm red as hell because I'm windburnt. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. Now, Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Pete Welch, and Representative Bianca Balint, maybe, have shared their condolences with the family. Border Patrol agents do important work protecting our borders, and they deserve the full support in terms of staffing, pay, and working conditions, the elected officials shared in a statement on Tuesday. We look forward to working with the agency to make sure they have all the resources they need to do the enormously important work that is their responsibility. Together, we must do everything possible to prevent future tragedies like what happened today. Now, the shooting came just hours after President Donald Trump was inaugurated to a second term. Now, obviously, I think that this will need to be investigated. I think that there's a story behind this. I want to know what he had a visa for. I want to know all the things. And I hope that his family, his mom, his dad, if he has a wife or children, they're all just being wrapped in love. I know that there's always that possibility. And I know that families of first responders, of military people, you always have that in your back pocket. But you never think it's gonna be you. You never do. You always think it's never gonna be you. What are the odds? And I can't imagine having your worst nightmare come true. So I do hope that they are being wrapped in love and support, that they have someone to sit with them when they're going through this hell, because it's just it's not good. Now, I don't know who this woman is, but apparently she is missing. Now, maybe she just decided to not wear makeup and she's fooled everyone. I don't know. Now, Mob Wife's star, Natalie DiTanio, Didonta, look, some name. I am having a mental block on Did Don Otto. This is no Din Donato. That is, I'm gonna call you Donato's Pizza, ma'am. I cannot. I love how I have to go full on hooked on phonics like Din, Don, Otto. But I get there. I do get there. I just have to pull out my remedial phonics. Was reported missing after failing to board 2 flights home. Now, ladies, the temptation is always there when you are out at the supermarket. You have the credit card. You can run and get you a cruise and never come the hell back home. Look, we have all thought about it. We have all made our go bag and gone to, like, we're going to the Walmart. Okay, maybe y'all haven't, but I have seriously done thought about it sometimes. I'm like, I'm gonna tell them I'm going to Walmart. I'm going up to the airport. I'm buying me a ticket to any daggone place, or hell, I'll just book a hotel room near the airport. I'm gonna take me a bath. I'm not gonna listen to anyone, and I'm turning off my phone. I may have thought about this a couple times. I may have had a poster with escape routes. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe not everyone's like me. Maybe I'm a, mom that just wants to be on the lam sometime. I don't know. But I have thought about it. The Mob Wife alum who appeared in season 5 is subject of a missing persons report filed in Las Vegas Tuesday per TMZ. Well, it's got to be true if it's Perez Hilton. According to the outlet, Natalie's friend Ben filed the report after she failed to board 2 flights home to Florida. Maybe she lost her ticket in the neon? Or it got stuffed in her boobular area and she doesn't know where it is? I mean, I don't. Oh, waist trainer? And I bet that's some plexus too. Also, why are you wearing a daggone turtleneck leopard print out? No. I can't, y'all. I just can't. Her mother, Denise Foucault, told TMZ that she most recently spoke to her daughter on FaceTime last week. Now, Foucault said that their conversation was brief and that her daughter was rushed off the phone without disclosing her location. The mother is not sure where Natalie is if she's alone, but she said she looked nervous and stressed during the video chat. Let's see here. Since their phone call, Foucault told TMZ she's been worried sick because Natalie hasn't returned any of her phone calls. Nick Starro, that is right. Because she got a name I can't pronounce, which is really fun because it's not hard. D. Donato. I mean, it does help not being a fook. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Could I have been born a fook? That would have been hilarious. I would have hyphenated my name to Mo Fook hyphen Mr. Mo's last name. I would have fooked all over. Check out Nick's channel. He did the entire YSL trial. He is still on that. So check him out. He's fun, he's Swedish, and he can drink way more than I can, which is basically everyone, but it is a skill that I'm impressed by. And welcome Shizzy Raiders. Let's see here. Now, the mother was unsure whether she was alone or not. Who in the hell wears this outside? Oh, y'all, total tangent time, but I got the most awesome. Now, I don't know, I'm gonna wait to show this until I do a video this afternoon, but y'all, 3 AM, not quite with it, Mo, apparently decided I was Ron damn Burgundy. I got me at least 5 blazers for reasons I cannot understand. I get this big old box on Sunday, and I'm like, "What the hell did I buy?" I got some velvet blazers, you guys. I don't know what in the pimp sauce I was thinking, but I'm exactly excited to show you these, because, oh my Bob, I think I need a cigar. But, I mean, this is the walking outfit, the shoes, everything. I mean, laundry day, I am there with my Hawaiian shoes. What in the dominatrix? I don't know if you know this, Sweet Cheeks, but your cheeks are done out. I mean, that's taking assless chaps to a whole different level. I I have no words. I I have what in the hell is, not to mention her boobs are all smashed by just like a little women, you know how pissed off you get when, the seatbelt strap won't stay crossed in the heart middle and you've just got a seatbelt just, but kind of left nippular area and not in the center. That is a pain in the ass, and she's just got it just whole boob just seatbelted. I know all chaps are assless, but these are actually pants that just are assless. God, whatever. Oh, Lord. Now, let's see here. She did receive an update on Monday from Ben, who claimed that Natalie was still in Las Vegas. He claimed that Natalie sounded distressed when she contacted him via WhatsApp and asked for money for a flight back to Florida. Oh my God, you guys, I think I might have made a personal victory in my body image. I have, she's skinny, but I have decided I don't like that body. Like, y'all, there have been years and years and years where I would have done anything to be this skinny, but her boobs look weird, and that's just a weird pose. Also, don't off me, ma'am. But I'm happy with my, semi-fluffy deflating body now because she looks like, well, she just doesn't look happy. She looks like she's gonna stab someone. She needs a carb. Now, the mother did claim that Ben, obliged Natalie's request and purchased her a ticket home. However, she did not board the plane. She further told TMZ that her daughter has been distant for last month. Natalie was seen celebrating on a night out in her last Instagram post shared on December 12th, 2024. I mean, you know what? If you have a body like that, look, the good Lord knows that if he gave me a six-pack, I would be wearing nothing but crop tops and Lycra. So he has to keep, the males. Look, there would be riots. I mean, everyone would want a piece of Mo. So to keep the peace, I stay slightly fluffy. It's an effort. Look, I don't always want to eat a little Debbie, but to keep world peace, keep me from achieving maximal final form hotness and causing a world war, I will do it. Don't you worry, y'all. I will eat me a little Debbie and keep y'all safe. I do hope that she gets found. I hope this isn't another, that chick from Hawaii who was a photographer who had to go find herself, and her dad self-deleted because he, kept having the constant image of his daughter being trafficked in his head because she couldn't, I don't know, in the midst of finding herself, find a phone and let everyone know she was finding herself. Because I really hope this isn't that. Because I'm gonna be pissed off if this is that. Because this whole, like, vague quitting to get attention is beyond ridiculous. Ma'am, you are 40. Don't vague quit just to get attention. Well, things that make you go, ugh, I thought I was afraid of Jaws. No, apparently we found, if y'all have ever been to the beach and you pick up a bucket of sand and you find, I call them sand cockroaches. I don't know what the technical name is, but there's these creepy little, like, sand roly-polies that are huge. I don't know what you do with them. I don't know why God created them. If I were God, I wouldn't have created them because they look creepy and gross, and they're hiding in the sand. So, I mean, no. But now we have super giant sea bugs. It is named after Darth Vader, though. So I'm kind of there. Researchers studying crustaceans in Vietnam have identified a new super giant sea bug species that bears a striking resemblance to a classic movie villain. I mean, I guess, but he looks more like a stormtrooper because he's white. I mean, do they have more pictures? Because I'm not seeing Darth Vader. I'm seeing thing I would snap under my boot or burn it with holy fire. Like, no. Deep sea bugs, or the Bathymeus species, have been eaten regularly in Vietnam since 2017, according to researchers who published their findings in the science journal Zookeys. The crustaceans, members of the isopod family, are fished from deep water, generally in the South China Sea, or as we like to call it, future Bay of Next America. Y'all, again, I don't know why the Bay of America or the Gulf of America just tickles me, but I am now going to start renaming all the gulfs to whatever I want. The study was exploring the sudden popularity in these crustaceans, which are sold in restaurants and other eateries. While conducting the research, scientists noticed a species they didn't recognize. All isopods are characterized by a hard protective exoskeleton and 7 pairs of legs. Yeah, no, but they're incredibly small, usually only about 2.5 centimeters. This new species has evolved to be much larger, around 30 centimeters. And the researchers said there are only 11 known supergiant and giant, isopod species. So this is the second supergiant to be found in the South Sea. Well, I mean, you put a bunch of Roundup in the water, I'm sure something's gonna grow. You have Miracle Grow, you have Roundup, you have poo. I'm sure these things grow for forever. Now, the species was officially named Bathnomus vaderi after Star Wars villain Darth Vader. Researchers said the crustacean's head resembles Vader's the back of its leg that narrows slightly backward. So there you go. Just a new thing to be scared of for going in the water. Jaws worked for me, but here, this is fine. I'm not going in the water anymore. Just never. But I will say, as a kid growing up in near Virginia and going to the beach, it was always really, really fun to, get all the sand fleas out, or again, I just call them sand cockroaches. It was fun. It was fun. Now they creep me out. Now I'm grossed out. Good morning, Deviance More and MLS. This is a story that I think will get big in this next year. So this is a story that I think we will see a break in the next year, and I do want to cover it because Madalina Cojocari's disappearance has been an unanswered question for too long. We need to get some straight answers from the mom, from the stepdad. We need to find this little girl. And if we can't bring her home, we need to lay her to rest with honor. Madalina Cojocari's mattress Halloween costume burned in a fire pit before her disappearance was reported. The still missing girl's stepdad told cops. Recently released search warrants in the case of North Carolina girl who has been missing for more than 2 years have shed more light into the police investigation of her disappearance. Reports from Charlotte Fox affiliate WGPH and ABC affiliate WSOC share more than 30 search warrants obtained relating to the late 2022 disappearance of Madalina. The child was last seen on surveillance footage leaving the school bus for her home in the town of Cornelius on November 21st, 2022. And it was not until the middle of the following month that authorities discovered her appearance because she had been absent from school that entire time. Now, scrutiny quickly fell on her mother, Dana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmeter, who were charged with failing to report her missing. Now, cops accused the couple of withholding information. The criminal cases against the couple reached their conclusion last year, with Cojocari pleading guilty and Palmeter losing at his trial. Now, according to the warrants, Palmeter told a Cornelius Police Department detective the day Madalina was reported missing, December 15th, 2022, that several of the 11-year-old girl's items had been burned in a fire pit outside their home. The items reportedly included her mattress, and I do believe it is a Romanian or a Bulgarian name. I do believe her mother, and I want to take this with a pound of salt because I want to cover this case more fully. But I do believe that she was sort of a mail order bride situation with this Palmeter gentleman. She is much younger. The wife is much younger than Palmeter, and it did appear to be a sort of mail order bride or arranged kind of relationship like that. But that's all I really remember. So I will deep dive into this. That gives me, let me write it on my handy dandy notepad of not forgetting shit. And I will get better at saying her name, but I'm terrible. Now, what does concern me is the mattress. And while it is very important that I remain, my pronunciation is going to be all the off. If there was a, zip code of correct, I would not even be within 100 miles of it. I do find it alarming that the mattress was burned, and I'm not going to throw out allegations of anything or anything like that, but it does raise my spidey sense that the mattress was destroyed. Um, it just there's something about the mattress. When I saw that the mattress was burned, I think that we are going to be laying this little girl to rest. I do not think that she is going to come back to us alive. And I wish that, I had a different take on this, but the mattress really does bother me. That is such a physical representation of your safety, where you go for comfort, and where evidence of certain crimes could be. And that's all I'll say because, again, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that throws out, I have a spidey sense, so that totally means it's right. This is just in the fig Newton of my, mind, but it definitely gives me pause that the mattress was destroyed and the carpet from the room upstairs. Now, another warrant reportedly unearthed a 10-minute conversation over WhatsApp between the mother and a priest from her home country of Moldova. She allegedly sent some $4,000 to the man in the weeks following her disappearance. Local NBC affiliate WCNC reported that cops also seized a phone believed to have belonged to Madalina not long after the girl was reported missing. Investigators reportedly uncovered 37 unread messages on Discord, a popular app used by gamers and YouTubers, but also, according to police, by people looking to exploit children. And the investigation involved believed the exploitation of a minor child victim could be possible, one warrant reportedly said. After Paul Meter's conviction, his defense lawyer, Brandon Roseman, maintained the stepfather's innocence in her disappearance. You heard the state say Paul Meter was her father, Roseman said in closing arguments, according to WCNC. Yes, Paul Meter wanted to be her father. He loved her, and he wants her back. He just doesn't know where she is. Diana never told him. Now, as previously reported, Diana Cojocari, look, we're just going to call her Coco, allegedly told cops that she last saw her daughter on November 23rd, 2022, and that she went to check on her on November 24th. You went to check on her the next, okay, which was Thanksgiving, and Madalina was not in her room. Now, Diana stated that she waited until Saturday, November 26th, at 1900 hours when Christopher Paul Meter had returned home from a road trip before asking if he knew where Madalina was. You know what's insane? You have this thing, and you can call while someone isn't in the same room as you. Believe me, I know. I have texted my husband from my bed in another room in my house to bring me a fork last night. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moe. Now, Parmeter claimed to not know, and he asked Diana the same question, the defendant allegedly said. The affiant, asked Diana why she didn't report Madalina missing until now, authorities said. Diana was worried it might start a conflict between her and Christopher. If Madalina is indeed alive today, she would be 13 years old. Paul Meter's defense painted Diane as controlling and manipulative. Roseman reportedly said that it appeared that Diana had planned on leaving town based on the $8,000 and passport authorities discovered in her purse. Now, during the early days of Madalina's disappearance, the mother kept Paul Meter in the dark by claiming that Madalina was sick in her own room, the defense maintained. Now, Diana placed Flonase around the house to make Paul Meter think that Madalina was sick, and she stopped him from bringing a slice of pizza to the child, instead taking it and saying she would bring it in herself. Now, jurors saw a video in which Paul Meter told the cops he believed Madalina was in her room after he returned from his road trip. The state emphasized Paul Meter's own legal responsibility for care of Madalina. Jurors should find him guilty if he did not know Madalina's whereabouts and had no contact with her for more than 24 hours, the prosecution said. He's the only father she ever had, the state said. Now, since Paul Meter already spent about 8 months in jail, the judge suspended a sentence of 6 to 17 months behind bars, but put him on 30 months of supervised probation. At the time of her guilty plea, Diana Cojocari, whatever her name is, had already spent the maximum time behind bars. She did not testify at Paul Meter's trial, and she reportedly left the country following her conviction. Yeah, something about this stinks to all high heaven. All high heaven. Well, in Supreme Court news, the Supreme Court rules for female Oklahoma death row inmate over sex shaming claim. Y'all know I had to pick up this one. This is going to be interesting and spicy, I hope, because I don't read these before I read them with you, which usually leads me to, some African names I can't pronounce or getting, something with a bunch of things I can't pronounce in science. The Supreme Court issued a rare ruling Tuesday in favor of a death row inmate, finding that an Oklahoma woman convicted of unaliving her estranged husband can pursue a claim that prosecutors inappropriately focused on her sex life at trial. Divided 7-2, the court opened the door to Brenda Andrews challenging her conviction and death sentence. She is the only woman on death row in Oklahoma. The court ruled an appeals court was wrong to conclude that Andrew's claim that her due process rights were violated by the focus on her personal life, including the treatment of her children, could not move forward. The right to due process under the Constitution's 14th Amendment, quote, forbids introduction of evidence so unduly prejudicial as to render a criminal trial fundamentally unfair, end quote, the Supreme Court said in an unsigned opinion. The case will return to Denver-based 10th Circuit Court of Appeals for further litigations based on Andrew's habeas corpus claim. We are pleased that the court looked closely at the state of Oklahoma's manipulation of irrelevant and blatantly sexist evidence during Miss Andrews' trial, Jessica Sutton, one of Andrews' lawyers, said in a statement. Now the appeals court will determine whether such evidence was so prejudicial as to render Miss Andrews fundamentally, her trial fundamentally unfair. Andrew was convicted in a state court of the 2001 murder of her husband, Rob, who was shot twice with a shotgun in the garage of their former family home in Oklahoma City when he arrived to pick up their 2 children. Her alleged accomplice, boyfriend James Pratt, also was prosecuted and is on death row. Andrew, now 61, was herself shot in the arm during the incident. When your boyfriend bungles up his unaliving and shoots you. Oh, someone got some in-house inmate. I wonder what Kool-Aid flavor that is. Are we guessing watermelon or passion punch? I'm kind of going fruit punch or watermelon. And then I'm kind of noticing I've got the same exact color on my lips, so I really can't make fun of her. But I'm gonna, because sometimes we look ridiculous, women. All right. Andrew's conviction was upheld in state court, prompting her to file a habeas corpus claim in federal court, which was also rejected. Andrew's lawyers say prosecutors focused on her personal life because they lacked concrete evidence connecting her to the crime. Among the issues raised at trial were that Andrews previously had affairs with other men. Hey, Jedi Jess, if you could pull documents on this one, this is pretty interesting. And I do want to see how much they did sexualize her. This might be a trial we could watch as a fast play if it is streamed. Let me write down her name, Andrews. Because if it was streamed, that would be interesting to see for our own eyes how much she was actually sexualized, how much this turned into a Maury thing versus, someone actually, how it actually happened. I will do that, Jedi Jess, after the stream, because I can't multitask. I'm going to be honest. I cannot do it. And that she had made sexual advances toward 2 young men working in their yard. Now, toward the end of the trial, a prosecutor held up thong underwear owned by Andrew and asked the jury whether a grieving widow would wear such an item of clothing. Well, speaking as someone who once was a grieving widow and decided to go commando, I don't think Jesus, God, or the entire universe should have a good god dang what the hell you're wearing on your hootie bits. But, I mean, far be it from me to not judge someone, but I'm pretty sure I've been a member of the club. I have a t-shirt and I am now the president. And I can tell you this, former grieving widow gives 2 fucks what she was wearing on her hoo-ha. Because I don't care. Now, if she was wearing something that's showing her, badonkadonk, we have different questions. But a thong? Is this footloose? Are you freaking, footloose Reverend Dad? Like, we can't dance and we can't wear thongs, girls. Got to keep that chastity. What the hell? Oh, wait, it gets worse. The prosecutor also used the term slut puppy. I am so stealing that. I am making a t-shirt, slut puppy. Oh my God, my dad would be so embarrassed. But I'm already making a Rack of Justice t-shirt, so who knows? To refer to Andrew, her lawyer said, although the state says the comment was not a direct reference to her, in the general direction of which sits the defense, we encounter the defendant who may or may not be, or it could be fair to say, is a slut puppy. What the actual hell? Who says slut puppy? And why is it now something I wanna say often in real life? You know, it's often that you don't get linguistic genius all the time, but slut puppy is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. The prosecutor's case was fixated on obtaining a conviction and death sentence by denigrating her character as a woman, her lawyers said in court papers. I just can't imagine, a case in which slut puppy would be good in context and as a descriptor in court. God, we need to find this footage. I must see a live footage of slut puppy being. Y'all want to know my favorite part of trials? I'm gonna level with you. As being an immature 10-year-old girl for the most of my life, and now mostly, my favorite part of trials is when prosecutors get to say no words because they were direct quotes. So there is nothing funnier than, especially the Jodi Arias trial, when they're talking about lube and everything. There is nothing funnier to me than watching prosecutors get to say no words. I'm a nerd. It's weird things that fill my happiness cup, but it is. Now, two conservative justices, Clarence Thomas and Neil Gorsuch, disagreed with Tuesday's ruling. Thomas wrote in a dissenting opinion that the court has not followed its own rules in determining whether a habeas corpus claim arising from a prosecution in state courts can move forward. Oklahoma Attorney General Genter Drummond said in court papers that there was overwhelming evidence that Andrew and Pravitt plotted to murder to get the life insurance payout. Andrew added, had a visceral hatred of her husband, and evidence of her ability to get men to do her bidding was relevant to the case. It's them thongs. Y'all men just cannot. I mean, if I want like the laundry done or trash taken out, apparently I just need to get me a thong. And then I'll take it back and I'll launch it at him. Because honest to goodness, I don't get it. I mean, it kind of saves you from having or picking out a wedgie because it's just already wedged in there. It's not my jam. I don't judge you if you wear them. It's just not my jam. But there you go. Drummond said, "We are disappointed but respect the court's decision," spokesperson Leslie Berger said in an email. So interesting. Well, it's time for the Razzies, y'all. Who's gonna win worst movie of the year? My money is honestly on Joker 2. But let's see who are up for Razzies. The Razzies 2025. Joker 2 leads with 7 nominations. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga are up for Worst Actors, and Madam Web, Megalopolis, Reagan have 6 nods. So there you go. Someone doesn't like Reagan. It's no longer morning in America. I'm just kidding. This year's Academy Award nominations are set to be announced Thursday after being delayed due to the devastating Los Angeles wildfires. As such, the annual Golden Raspberry Awards got to get ahead of the Oscars on Tuesday with their own crop of nominees, highlighting what its members believe to be the worst film for 2024. Now, Joker, Folie à Deux, leads with 7 nominations, while Madam Web, Megalopolis, Borderlands, and Reagan are close behind with 6 nods apiece. For Joker, Folie à Deux, the musical sequel to Todd Phillips' Oscar-nominated DC Comics crime film Joker, landed nods in the Worst Picture, Director, Screenplay, and Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel. Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix are both up for Worst Actress and Worst Actor, respectively, as well as Worst Screen Combination. The Joker sequel was poorly reviewed out of its premiere at the Venice Film Festival and wound up with a box office bomb number, grossing $206 million worldwide against a $200 million production budget. Now, there is a trick that Hollywood uses, and I didn't come up with this trick. I watch people that are smarter than me, WD Pro. But when Hollywood says they have a budget of 200 million, go ahead and double that for marketing. So you are not getting the full price kind of all the things that that entails. Generally double any sort of price number you see on anything in Hollywood for marketing. So they basically didn't even break even. Also, if you have a movie that resonates with people, but you hate the fact that it resonates with people you don't like, maybe don't make an entire movie pooping on them. Maybe just don't make a sequel at all and make it a musical for fuck all reasons. Like, how many Quaaludes and ketamines and poppers and whippets was this dude on? I think we need a Joker, but let's make it a musical. And then it's hello, Joker. Well, hello, Joker. I mean, we could have made it Hello Dolly if you wanted to go completely farcical and Hello Joker, but I don't get it. Make it make sense. Y'all just wanted to burn money. Notably, the Razzie's official press release of the nomination provides a miscount stating that Joker Folie à Deux was in tie for most nods at 6, when in fact it has 7. But the Golden Raspberry Awards haven't exactly been a serious operation since being founded in 1981. Recent dishonors of its own include issuing an apology for an insensitive nomination of child actor Ryan Carrera Armstrong for her performance in the remake of Firestarter, as well as rescinding the original category of Worst Performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie after the actor and his family publicly disclosed his aphasia diagnosis. You know, I will say, as one jackass who likes to make, funny humor poking at people, this is a pretty good class act. I mean, let's be real. We all thought that there was something going on with Bruce Willis, but to be able to retract when you learn it's something serious and not that he sucks out loud at acting, as much as the Razzies are, a joke, that's pretty classy to me. Now, going after a child actor, y'all need to get right with Jesus, okay? But make fun of Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. The nominations this year were determined by emailing ballots to a group of 1,200 plus voters, each of whom have paid either the annual fee of $40 or a lifetime membership fee of $500. Indeed, anybody can be a Razzies voter, as anyone can do whatever they want with their money in America if operating within the confines of the law. The larger Razzies base will vote on winners, which will be announced March 1st, a day before the Academy Awards. To see a full list of this year's Razzie nominations, which include comedic powerhouse qualifiers like Shia LaBeouf in Drag, below for more details on the release, check the organization's rarely maintained website. So for Worst Picture, let's see what we've got here. Borderlands, Joker Folie à Deux, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan. Worst Actor, Jack Black for Dear Santa, Zachary Levi for Harold in the Purple Crown, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker Folie à Deux, Dennis Quaid for Reagan, and Jerry Seinfeld in Unfrosted. For Worst Actress, we have Cate Blanchett in Borderlands, Lady Gaga in Joker, Bryce Dallas Howard in Argylle, Dakota Johnson in Madam Web, and Jennifer Lopez in Atlas. It should just say Jennifer Lopez in any movie, except Made to Order was pretty fun, and Ray Fiennes is hot. I have nothing further to say about that movie. For Worst Supporting Actor, we've got Jack Black, voice only in Borderlands, Kevin Hart in Borderlands, Shia LaBeouf in Drag in Megalopolis, Tahar Rahim in Madam Web, John Voight in Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers. John Voight, you have done a quadruple hat trick on all the movies that they don't like. And for supporting, let's get fun ones. So, screen combo, any two obnoxious characters, but especially Jack Black in Borderlands, any two unfunny comic actors in Unfrosted, the entire cast of Megalopolis, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga in Joker, Dennis Quaid and Penelope Ann Miller as Ronnie and Nancy. Prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. These are the ones that are in the crosshairs. We've got The Crow, which why did you make him freaking Jared Leto Joker? You took The Crow and made him into ridiculous Jared Leto Joker. Gen Z will never forgive you, or forget you. Joker, Craven the Hunter, Mufasa, The Lion King, and Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. I mean, I haven't watched any of these movies, so I consider myself rendered safe from, these movies. But we are going to get right into my Stranger Things rant for the end of this show because it's a conspiracy, y'all. I was watching Stranger Things and I had to go buy this hoodie. So it's all stripedy and comfy. And I'm realizing I can size down, but that's a whole other, can of potatoes there. But I have something to bitch about, or some things that I would like to demand at this final season of Stranger Things. And I think we can all agree. But first, I have an epic rant. I know there were boom boxes in the 80s. Why the hell did you have my man Eddie out there doing a guitar daggone solo out, just no backup? There are boom boxes. I cannot believe you sacrificed Eddie. They could have done a light show. They could have lit off M80s. Are you telling me these kids that, Rube Goldberg, a bear trap in the first season, couldn't have figured out how to light that trailer on fire and not have anyone hurt? I don't know. Absolutely not. We bring Eddie back. Also, Duffer Brothers. Let me explain what I'm going to do if you focus on John and Nancy's disintegrating relationship. Screw that. Bring Eddie back. I want Eddie and Dustin to be their own show. I don't want to see the slow motion train wreck of Nancy, breaking up with Jonathan just to get back with Steve, which we all know she should, and have those 6 little nuggets and go Winnebagoing around America. But I swear to God, if this final season turns into will they, won't they, oh, are they going to break up? Are they not going to break up? I'm going to look. We handled it on the nanny for 6 seasons till that bitch got married. But if they tease us again, I'm gonna lose my shit. Y'all, I'm gonna lose it. I do not want the slow motion breakdown of, skinny chick and guy who's always stoned. Actually, make Argyle a lead character. I'm in love with him for obvious reasons. He's the voice of every man. I will say that Argyle really kind of balanced it out because they've gotten so blasé with all the crazy ish that happens to them that Argyle is the, character insert for the audience. Like the flip, wait, this chick can move things with her mind and I'm stoned. I am too stoned to deal with this. I mean, not that I know from experience. I'm just saying Argyle is our everyman and we need to make him, good. But that's all I'm saying. Duffer Brothers, I don't really care about Nancy and John's relationship. Please do not focus on it. Bring back Eddie. Make Eddie win. It's always been about 11. Let's have Eddie be the closet Jedi no one knew about. Like Eddie has mind powers now. I'm just throwing it out there, but I think fan service is important because you mind warped me into buying an 80s shirt. And that's another thing. Stranger Things makes 80s fashion choices look much more cool than they were. I was there. Let me explain what it actually was. You were about 4. You're on the coast, and for some reason, corduroy is in season in spring and summer. So your mother will dress you up in stripedy, now horizontal stripedy corduroy overalls. Now your shirt will be a polka dot or a vertical or Let me tell you, the 80s patterns never had to match. It was kind of like Love Story. Love means never having to say goodbye. In the 80s, love meant patterns never had to match. So you were in, your vertical stripe, corduroy, hot as hell overalls with usually a just god awful unmatched shirt underneath. And then it's unfortunate, but every little girl had a mullet because they usually cut this section of your hair as a bang, and then you had a long. So you had what I call the front mullet, the faux mull, you know. So you had all of this as bang right about here. And that's how the 80s have hurt me. But no, that's my rant. I don't get it. Again, they've you sacrificed the most, fun character in an epic way. I will give you that. He went out like a champ when these kids have done remote things all the time. And they had like 3 days to plan. Normally these kids are like, "Let's go find dad's M80s," and, like a flamethrower that they found for no reason. But this time they had time to plan, and their plan was to send Eddie to the top of the roof to shred guitar. I don't know if the public education, the Department of Ed was in play in the 80s, but I'm gonna say that is lack of learning. That is lack of logical Socratic method going on there, and I blame the Department of Education as always. So, you guys, there will not be a nightly newsy news. I do plan to do a video of all of the things that, well, really tired and apparently Ron Burgundy me decided to buy me. So I will do that video. I am going to be looking up several cases. The Delphi case is going into overdrive, so I definitely want to get back into that. But also be sure to check out Musings with Mo. They will come out for everyone the day after they post. They will be members only for the first 24 hours. And you will get to hear me logic tree out what fetish could possibly gross out foot fetish people. I have come up with a doozy, and I think it's going to be the one that wins. But feel free to share your own opinions. I am diligently working on merch with Rosalind Duke, and I should be able to debut at least one mug on Friday with Shizzy. So be here for that, because, okay, y'all, it's still me. So give it like an hour when I say that I'm going to put it up live, because we all know that my computer hates me. And I suck out loud. User error is advised. Anywho, so have a wonderful day, you guys. I will see you in probably this afternoon to go over my Ron Burgundy haul, and have a lovely day. I am sending you over to Baker. Give him some love, and I am going to go take a kiddo to the doctor for a med check. It's the glamorous life. Don't be peanut butter and jealous. Bye, you guys.